Why does Matt should be here? Matt, if you're watching at your desk, you should come and defend yourself. Why does Harvey scoff about Matt liking Bette Midler when Harvey was the original stalkerazzi with the Supremes? This is true.
Yeah, it's a brilliant
question. We should one day get a shot of this, and we should get like a still of it, and Maddie can put it up. In Harvey's office, I think it's actually off the wall now. It's like on a corner on the ground. But he had a huge, huge poster of himself with the Supremes post Diana Ross. Sorry, Diana Ross wasn't it. That's probably his biggest regret. But yes, he was a huge Supremes fan.
How old was he in that shot? He couldn't have been older than 30, I would think.
It's hard to tell Harvey's age.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and tell a little story about him, which he told me that when he was in college, when he'd have friends come over and they'd go in his room, and they'd walk in and they'd be like, all right, so what's going on? And they'd turn around, and one whole, because in college your dorm room is much smaller, he had a huge wall that was covered with nothing. The poster was so big, it was just the Supremes. And they walked in like, really? Really, dude? Says he lost a lot of friends that way. I don't believe he really had friends come over anyway.
Yeah.
Can Tiger Woods countersue that Devon chick for extortion? Because we put up the fact that the DNA test was done on the... Devon James said that her son was Tiger Woods, that Tiger Woods was the father. We put up the DNA test, which proves that Tiger is not the father.
Right.
So now the question is, can Tiger countersue her for extortion? Is there any way to have Gloria Allred... All right, this is two separate questions. First, can Tiger Woods countersue?
My understanding is that she didn't try and do behind-the-scenes thing to get money out of him. She actually filed a lawsuit, correct? Or a request to have a paternity verification on him. No, once you file a document in a court of law, you have immunity from any prosecution or any liability for doing that. So you can file documents for the court. You can say whatever you want. You cannot be sued for defamation based on what you put in the lawsuit. And similarly, because she went through the court channels, she'd be immune from him countersuing her. However, if she called him up and she said, I'm going to go public unless you pay me money, and had he paid her money and then found out that she was lying about this and she knew that she was lying when she did it, that would be extortion. But just by going forward and filing this request in the courts to have a paternity determination, he cannot countersue her for that.
So she's in the clear.
Yeah. And it wouldn't be a countersuit because she didn't sue him for anything,
right? She never sued him. Right.
She's asked for a paternity test.
Correct. Why is Charlie Sheen still flying under the radar? What happened? Well, he's still waiting for. He's going back to court mid-July, I think it is.
July 17th or something.
July 17th, something like that. Going back to court in Aspen, and going to still try to work out a plea deal since the last one was derailed.
But it's on the path to trial unless something comes along right now.
Yeah, I got to figure they're going to make a deal.
Right.
I would think. Wow. If Rachel Uchitel doesn't want to be seen as a tramp, then why does she scamp around with a bra and cleavage hanging out all over the place?
I disagree with the pretext of the sentence, or the question.
Listen, I don't know if you saw that we put up the photo of Rachel golfing. What's wrong? She can't go out and golf? She's got to go out and lead her life, right?
Right.
Although it is a little odd to have a golf shirt that is buttoned down to here.
And to not wear a bra or wear one.
You don't know that she wasn't wearing a bra.
That's true. I don't know it. It just seems...
It could have just been really cold.
Right.
Although she was in California in summer, so maybe not.
I love this question. Would the staff of TMZ ever consider doing a reality show? That's what we do.
I thought we were. Yeah, you don't want to know anything more about than what you see. It's more than enough, in my opinion. You got anything over there?
Are there pictures of Kim K and Miles Austin together? I don't know. Has anybody confirmed that with photos?
Not been pictured. No, have not
so
been photographed. So
how do we know they're dating? She's tweeted it or something?
People in both their lives have
confirmed it?
Said that it's going down. So
right.
So you can celebrate in Dallas.
Right.
I guess. We almost have a confirmation from. We have a near confirmation from Kim in the show tonight.
On the show,
which you should check out.
Let's see. Do you think Sylvester Stallone is doing this movie with Gotti because he owes him a favor? So this is the story that came out today. It's Sylvester Stallone is on the verge.
Owes him a favor?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, come on.
On the verge of portraying John Gotti Jr.?
Yes. Well,
we don't know.
John Gotti Jr.
In an upcoming biopic.
Who is most commonly just known as John Gotti.
Right.
The one who died.
Right.
Yeah, he's in discussions with John Gotti's son, who goes by the nickname of Junior,
to do
this deal, and Stallone is going to play Gotti.
Right.
So that'd be interesting.
This person says that last year they asked if it was possible if MJ gave himself a self-dose, gave himself the big dose of propofol while Murray was out of the room, and we didn't answer the question. Well, you were prescient. We didn't pick up on that. Way to go, April.
What was the question?
Whether they asked last year if it was possible if MJ gave himself the big dose of propofol while Murray was out of the room, and we wouldn't answer the question. Is it possible, though I don't believe it, but don't believe it's impossible. Drug addicts will do things like that. Regardless of the case of Michael Jackson, drug addicts will certainly do things like that, and that's the defense apparently that Conrad Murray's going for, is that Michael Jackson self-injected himself with a lethal dose of propofol. So it seems that at least it was conceivable, if not actual.
Certainly probable.
How do you explain the seedy side of the Jacksons? Why the dubious business partners, the shady deals, etc.? You know, I think anybody who's involved, I mean, that family was involved in so many business transactions. Obviously, MJ was the preeminent figure in the family, but all of those, a large number of those kids were involved in different transactions. And I think that, they made a lot of business partners. Some of them were not the most high-standing folks or did things that, were on the right side of the law. But I think anybody who's in sort of this multi-billion-dollar world is going to end up with some seedy stuff going on or some shady stuff going on.
You think that's just because they're in a business with that much money on the line, that there are plenty of people who are above board in the music business in that world.
I think it's more the people they associated. I mean,
certainly. When there's that much money involved, that was involved in Michael Jackson's life, yes, there are always going to be people, I guess, who are scheming to get their hands on some of it any way they can.
Right.
And so, I guess it's fair to say that his siblings would get taken.
Right. You got anything else over there?
Dr. Murray. Why are you spinning feel-good stories about Murray? I don't think that's not.
Yeah,
what feel-good story are we doing about Dr. Murray?
I mean, I think we've been pretty balanced about Murray. I mean,
very balanced. I mean, the fact of the matter is, all we're doing is reporting what's going on with him. I don't think there's anything.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what they felt was a feel-good story about him.
Well, I think I've seen this in response to any time that we sort of point out.
Barbershop.
Well, yeah, and the airplane story, and then when we point out the plausibility of the defenses that he's putting forward, and I think there's some negative reaction to that from MJ fans, and I don't think that's fair. I really do think that there's certainly arguments to be made against Dr. Murray and what he did, and I think we put those out there and we've explained what those arguments are. But on the other side, he's put forward an argument or two that potentially have merit. We'll just have to wait and see what the evidence is that comes out of trial.
So there.